Hi everyone, welcome. I hope it's just starting. Glad you're here today. I hope you enjoy your practice. There's somebody else here with me today. Charlotte, you want to say hi? She's going to be off the camera. Wait, get close. Oh yeah, you're here. It just takes a few moments. She'll be off camera, but she's going to be practicing with us. And I hope you're well, all of you. This class is for fertility and pregnancy. So please take care best you can. And do you want to say hi?
Yeah, hello everyone. You're doing well.
Yeah, great. Thank you. So come with all of the props that you have, whatever it is, pillows from your bed or blankets from your bed or whatever you have will work well. Do sit up on some elevation, so like a pillow or a blanket, and stretch your legs straight out in front of you. So when you stretch your legs straight out in front of you, adjust your footing. I don't know if you can see my feet. Hold on. It's okay if you can't see my feet. But basically, you're having your feet so that the outer line of your feet, the pinky toe sides of your feet are aligning with the outer hips. So that means your legs are apart, so your feet are apart, and it should feel pretty comfortable. And then from here, take really just the pads of your fingertips and press them onto the floor by either side of you so that you're using some arm strength to kind of push the floor away to help you lift your chest upright. And as you're here, you can look down at your legs and let your legs be active, pull your toes apart, press your thighs downwards into the floor. And in general, feel active. Feel like you're fresh, like you're working on applying your best effort, but you're not straining at all. So feel this, long legs, arms working, the muscles are engaging, the hands and fingers are working a little bit to push the floor away to lift your chest more and more. And then from here, go ahead and cross your legs. You can take your right leg in first and then your left, or either way, but adjust yourself so that your feet are underneath your knees. And as you're here, sit up tall. You can even take your hands to your side body and you can like spread your fingers apart and then wrap your fingers around your ribs, any way that you can feel that. If you're late in pregnancy, you may not be able to feel the bones so much, but they're there. I want you to feel the sides of your body and kind of lift any amount you can. Lift the rib cage up, lift the torso up using just a little bit of strength with your arms. And it could also be that you're only moving like 1 millimeter or 2 millimeter. I mean, it's not a huge lift, but that lift should be helping you to get more length and extension in your trunk. And then from here, bring your hands around in front of you in namaste position and close your eyes from top to bottom. And then from here, be aware of your breathing. Breathe long, slow, and deep, best you can. Softening your facial muscles, relaxing your shoulders down away from your ears, and in general, sitting tall without strain. And then I'll chant Om to get today just one time on the exhalation. So if you want to join me where you are, please, of course, feel free to join me. And then to begin the sound of Om, you can inhale through the nose. Om. And keep sitting tall and upright. Keep your chest open and broad the best you can. And then now lower your head. So when you lower your head, be careful not to like close off your chest. And then from here, you can lower your hands, palms down over your legs. And when you're ready, you can inhale and raise your head upright back over your shoulders. And if your eyes have been closed the whole time, you can open them now. And then from here, go ahead and lean forward and then make some big circles. So we're just warming up the body. This is really nice for fertility and for pregnancy because it will help relax the lower part of your torso, the abdominal muscles, and the area where you have your reproductive organs. It can like some spaciousness coming there and some circulation. And just move and notice that it might be difficult to move, or it might feel like stiff in some areas, or maybe you're super loose. So if that's the case, go even deeper, but don't strain. And the whole time also, please keep lifting your chest. So these beginning poses that we'll do are Kundalini based. This I teach in a fusion yoga style. So what that is I'm bringing together a few different styles of yoga. Oh, when you get to the top of your circle, go the other way now. And so in the beginning, I like to do the Kundalini movements because they warm up the body really quickly. And also, if you feel like, gosh, I want to do something on my own in between classes, then these ones in the beginning are kind of easy to do. I'm hoping they're easy enough that you can remember, and you can do them anytime. Like you could do them at the beginning of the day when you wake up, or like after a long day of work. You know, when you just have like a few minutes, you can do a few of these things. And then after that, we do some flowing movement and some hatha style, which is alignment based. So you have the good structure and build some strength as well as flexibility. So then when you get to the top of your circle, how you're working, then come back to the center and sit tall and upright and be here. If your leg position is bothering you, you can sit however you want. And then as soon as you're ready, hold on to the lower legs if you're sitting cross-legged, or if you're sitting differently, you could maybe hold the thighs. But from here, I want you to lift your chest. And when you inhale, draw your shoulder blades, your chest forward. And when you exhale, draw your shoulder blades and your chest back. So you're flexing the spine, but you're flexing really the upper part of the spine. So the shoulder blade area is really what you're focusing on moving. So inhaling forward, exhaling back. And of course, the area below the shoulder blades and the areas above the shoulder blades are also moving, but you're generating that movement from that mid to upper part of your back. It's the part of our back that we don't want to use after a while, and especially once we have like the baby's quite big and your breasts are bigger, it's harder to move that middle part of the torso. So do the best you can and notice how the body opens as you move more and more. And you can go whatever pace you want. You can close your eyes and focus on the third eye, or you can keep your eyes open. But also, I want to say to you now that when you inhale, try to press the buttock bones down, the sitting bones, the bones at the bottom of either side of your rump, and that'll help you lift your chest more. So inhaling, kind of pushing down with the buttocks and lifting your chest more. And you could breathe deeply. Now come back to the center where you are and inhale long, slow, and deep through your nose or through your mouth. Either way is fine. And then exhale out your mouth with the ha. You could relax your arms wherever you want in your hands. And one more time, inhale. And then exhale. And if you want to close your eyes all the way, go ahead and do that now. Sit tall and upright, but don't strain to do this. Be comfortable, be relaxed. Allow yourself to be quiet inside. Allow the mind to feel calm and quiet and meditative. All right, and then from here, open your eyes if they're all the way closed, and take your hands so that they're with your thighs somewhere comfortable, so that the upper arms are easily dropping down towards the elbows from the shoulder. So they're not like forward, but they're back. And then when you're ready, inhale and squeeze the shoulders up, and exhale, release. So it's inhaling, lifting, exhaling, releasing. And you can go at whatever pace you want. You do not have to follow the pace I'm doing. Just keep going. Let your mind focus more on yourself now. And for if you're pregnant, then you can also connect inwardly with your child. You can be more together with what you're doing, with how you're working. And for fertility, I want you to keep your mind kind of low in the body, even as you squeeze your shoulders up and release the shoulders down. And then just keep going. Try to relax your forehead just a little longer. Okay, so then now when you're ready, inhale, squeeze the shoulders up. And then exhale, release them, and exhale out the mouth. Yeah, and then from here, you can take your hands palms up, and then just relax all the way. I mean, you can stay sitting tall and upright, but just relax all the way now. Breathing when you need to, observing yourself, observing what's happening as you do the practice. Like after you did those movements, then now what's it like when you're in stillness? In many ways, as we practice yoga now, at this period of time, that we're really researchers. We're doing these things, these practices. Some have been around for a long time. We don't know exactly how long many things have been around. Some things are new. And as we practice, it's good to observe what's it like for you? What's happening? Does it feel right? How is it affecting my physical body and my life in general? And in this way, we take ownership of the practice. If your eyes are all the way closed, go ahead and open them and then stretch your legs out in front of you. So stretch them out just like in the very beginning where the pinky toes are aligned with the outer hips. And again, press your fingertips down onto the floor, reach out through the heels, pull your toes back towards you, and sit up tall and upright through the torso. So just feel what it's like right now to have this extension and engagement in the body, and you're kind of even from left to right. There's kind of an evenness because the right side and the left side of you are doing like the same actions. Then from here, take your legs wide. So you're taking Upavista Konasana. In Sanskrit, it's the wide leg sitting position. And then bring your fingertips in front of you, push your fingertips down and lift the chest. Now, if the floor feels like, oh, it's really far down there and I've got to kind of lean over, then it's good if you have some blocks, or you could use books also, and push down either with your fingertips or flat palm and lift the torso. So especially for pregnancy, you want to go upright instead of forward and down in your forward bend. So this is generally like considered a seated pose, but it's a forward bend. So from here, keep the legs active, pull the toes apart, try to descend the thighs and lift the chest. So as you're lifting the chest, you have to lift lower in the body to lift the chest. And then in your mind, note the shoulder blades in the back of the body and draw the shoulder blades in so that you can lift your chest more. And then, so your mid back is concave, right? It's going in the back like a cave. And then you could walk your hands forward either with the blocks or with your fingertips on the floor, however you're working, and press the thighs down. So you want to keep the front of the body long and the back concave for pregnancy. For fertility, it's really similar. Make sure you don't grip the belly. But for fertility, you can go further as long as it feels good. But you want to try to not round the back because that doesn't really help you. You want to be long in the front of the body and keep going as far as you can. Everybody can drop their head so that they're looking down towards the ground. So that means like the throat in front is kind of soft. The legs stay super active. There's different things going on in the body. Parts of your body are very engaged and muscular. Other parts like your face, your throat, your belly, they're soft. They're not hard gripping or hard working. Eyes passive. So go as deep as you can right now. Breathe normally. And then as you're ready now, walk your hands back up and in towards the upright position, or as soon as you're ready for that. And then don't rush. And then take your hands on the inner knees, lift the knees up and take Baddha Konasana, which is when the soles of the feet are touching. And you can hold onto your ankles and pull the feet in closer to the body as long as it's comfortable. If something is feeling achy in your knee area, you could take a blanket or blocks, for example, and put them underneath the knees. If you're like, I'm going to say just maybe 20 weeks or more pregnant, you might want to lift the legs up so that you don't stretch as much. And by late pregnancy, we tend to, because of the looseness in the joints, in the ligaments, we tend to drop a little too far down. So you want to lift the legs up a little bit. And it will feel more comfortable also. Even if it doesn't feel uncomfortable here, you'll notice there's a softness when you elevate the legs a bit. So work as you need to or as you can. Hold on to the ankles and lift the torso upright. Lift the chest. Pull the shoulders and the shoulder blades down the back. Relax the belly, relax the area where your reproductive organs are, where the baby is growing. Be soft there. And at the same time, lift up and be tall and extended. And then you can lift your chin a little bit and look up so that you can feel like a curve in the back of your neck. And you could gaze upwards and just be here, feeling the body. Notice your breath now and deepen your breath a little bit. So deepening the breath will help you to relax. And at the same time, you need to keep muscles working in the trunk so that you can sit tall and upright. Let the legs relax. Let your facial muscles be soft. And be aware of your breath, and you can deepen your breath any amount. And then from here, take your hands behind you. You could be on blocks. Let's see if there's room here to show. Hands behind you on blocks, or maybe your hands are like on little fists like this, but behind you. So that the reason for that is I want you to be active in your legs now. They're not passive. And so press the heels into one another a lot. So pushing the heels into one another will cause you to feel that the muscles in the legs engage, and even the outer hip muscles, you can feel them engage, which is good because it builds strength around the hips. So pushing the heels into one another, you'll feel that the balls of the toes and the toes separate. And also, when you push the heels into one another, you should feel that the inner thighs are lengthening towards the inner knees. So the inner thighs are lengthening out towards the inner knees, and there's kind of like a horseshoe shape around the kneecap, and then the outer thighs are moving in towards the outer hips. So the direction of the thighs is from the inner thighs to the knees, and from the knees to the outer hips. So see if you can feel that as you push the heels into one another, as the belly probably naturally relaxes. You probably don't have to, work so hard on trying to soften the abdominal muscles. Lift the rib cage and the chest, push the heels into one another, and notice how much work it takes to do this. Even though if somebody's walking by, they'll be like, oh, they're just sitting there with their legs like that and their body like that. Okay, so then from here, relax. Take your hands on the outer legs, lift the legs up, stretch your legs out in front, and you could bounce your legs a few times up and down. And then come around right away onto your hands and knees. So when you're on your hands and knees, take your hands just right underneath your shoulders and push the floor away, pull your fingers apart, push the floor away. And then when you are ready, exhale and round in, and you can look in towards your body or towards your belly, whatever you can see there. And then inhale, lengthen the torso and lift your chin and look up. Be careful not to strain your low back. So you don't have to move the low back so much. Every time you exhale, round in. Every time you inhale, extend the front of the body, lift your chest, look up. Keep your arms straight the whole time and engaged. And just keep moving. And you could keep your eyes closed even as you look up. When you inhale, you could look, up behind the closed lids. You can also focus on your third eye here, the space in between your eyebrows and a little bit inward from there. That can stimulate your pituitary gland, which can help you feel more grounded with your natural intuition and natural sort of good common sense. Keep moving. Go at any pace you want. Move with your breath. Keep going. Any pace. You may want to go faster than what I'm showing. Deepen your breath now for these last few movements in cat and cow. Okay, inhale and lengthen up. And then exhale, round in. And then inhale, extend into neutral, the spine. Keep breathing on your own. Separate your knees. Come down, sit back on your heels, and if it's too far to sit back there on your heels, which would be totally normal, take some blankets or pillows underneath you. And for a moment, take your forearms to the floor. So your head's still up and your knees, let them be very wide. So be here and lengthen the front of the body, or anyway, be aware with your mind's attention, the front of the body. And then if you have a block or something like that, take it so that you can rest your forehead on it. And relax your arms somewhere where you're by the sides of you so that your arms are not at all working, so that your shoulders can totally release. The arms now become totally passive. Don't let the arms or the hands work. And you may need to adjust whatever it is under your head so you're more comfortable. And so feel free to do that. I also like to use a bolster now. If you have a bolster, especially if you're pregnant, you could put it under your chest and then rest even on one cheek. So everyone, let your mind come to the attention of your breathing and allow the breath to flow at its own pace, at its own time, but your mind is gently noticing. And with the noticing of the breath, let that help you to relax more, to feel the body more deeply, to relax, to be with your child in a loving way, or just in any way that feels deep and right for you right now. For sure, soften your shoulders so you're not holding yourself up. And if you're resting on one cheek, go ahead and turn your head so that you're resting on the opposite cheek now. And then now, taking your time, take your hands to the floor, maybe by the knees, so that you can easily engage the arm muscles, but push the floor away to help you sit up upright. And one reason for using your arms like that is so that you don't use your abdominal muscles. So for fertility, I think it's been my experience and what I've learned is that if we can keep the abdominal muscles, or well, they need to be strong, but we want them also to be soft. You want to be able to be spacious here and not have compression or not be condensed here at all, but very open and broad and free. And same for pregnancy. We want to be soft enough in this abdominal area so that we grow fully, that our body will allow the fullness of our baby to grow and the placenta, and so our organs can move to wherever they need to be to make room for the baby and the placenta. So anyway, using your arms to come up will prevent you from just like this natural gripping in that we often do. Okay, so from here, we're on the floor. So come up to your knees. So like this, come up onto your knees. And if you need to put something underneath your knees so that it's not strenuous, please do that. But I want you to have your knees underneath either side of your hips. Maybe I'll come to the side a little. And then when you look back, your feet are right back from your knees and your toes are pointing straight back. So for camel pose isn't great to do, I don't believe, for either fertility or pregnancy, but we can do a variation of it. What you don't want to do with camel pose is grip the abdominal muscles, which I was just talking about. And if you go way back into the back bend, you have to grip in here. There has to be a clenching in. But we can open the body a bit and build strength. So I wanted to show you how to do it here today, or at least the way I believe would be good. So go ahead and take like your fists, like just like your knuckles here, to the area, not at your waist. This is like my waist here, but below, so that it's on like the upper part of your rump. And then from here, you can draw your elbows a little bit together because that'll help you open your chest, which is good because we tend to round. So you have like this nice, long, extended trunk, and your chest is broad and lifting. And if you just gently draw your elbows just a little closer together, you'll get more broadness and hopefully more lift in your chest. Then I want you to feel the knees, the shin bones, the tops of your feet, any amount that you can, and push those areas down into the floor. So it's pretty subtle, but try to do that. And then keep lifting through the torso, and then literally push your knuckles into your buttocks so that your pelvis moves a little forward. So don't go too deep because remember, you don't want to grip the belly, but you want to stretch and open here. and then lift your chest a little more. And you could lift your chin and look up like we were doing earlier. But don't go too deep, because I don't want you, if you go really, really deep, and you can play around with it, you can be the researcher, you're going to grip in. But the point here is to be long and extended in the torso. And if you take your buttocks forward, you could even engage now the buttock muscles. You can grip them in a little bit, and use your arm strength to push the pelvis, the buttocks forward a little bit. Press the shin bones, the tops of the feet down, long thighs, lift the rib cage and the chest. You can look up. If it's bothersome to your neck, you could look forward and just be here. Like, be here, breathing normally. And then go ahead, come all the way back up and out, and sit back down on your heels. And so if you can't sit on your heels comfortably, you could sit up on something like earlier. So sitting here, from here, take your arms forward and all the way up. So now you're really stretching, extending the torso, arms coming up from the shoulders if you can. Or if you have to bend your arms, have them up, take your arms wider. So you want to try to have the arms straight. And if you could have your arms straight and have your upper arms and your ears aligned, that would be great. For pregnancy, if it's easy for you to take your arms back behind the ears, try not to do that, because you overstretch. You're naturally loose, and now you're looser. So extend up to the fingertips, and also draw the upper arms into the shoulder sockets. Relax the legs down, breathe freely, and just extend and stretch. And then take your arms out to the sides, and then kind of sneak them around to the back of you, interlace them. Don't lean forward at all. Keep your shoulders over your pelvis and lift your arms up best you can. And then you can release the arms at your sides and come all the way up. I'd like you to do this again. Knees are slightly apart. Feet are back from the knees. Press the shin bones, or the whole shin bone doesn't generally touch, but you're basically descending the lower legs, lengthening the thighs from the hips towards the knees, but also maybe you could feel the thighs moving into the hip sockets. You could take your knuckles here back behind you, or maybe if you want to stretch a little more, you could take your fingertips pointing upwards. It's going to stretch your palms if you do this. Elbows towards each other, lift the rib cage and the chest, and then press the hands, the fingers, knuckles into the buttocks and lift the chest. So the reason that I want you to focus on moving the pelvis forward is because that'll help keep length in your low back. And it should, hopefully you're not gripping in here at all. Lift the rib cage from bottom to top. The lowest ribs are by the waist. So lift the rib cage up to lift your chest. Lift your chest upwards instead of back. And you can look up or you can look forward, but firm up the buttock muscles, draw the pelvis forward. Breathe freely, elbows a little bit moving towards each other so your collarbones are broad, chest is open. And then go ahead and come all the way up and all the way out, and come sitting for a moment down on your heels. So just for a moment, you could feel, I don't know where the stimulation is for you in your body, maybe the shoulders, maybe the buttocks, muscles, something. Okay, so then from here, I'd like you to come around. If you have a block, I'll give you a block, Charlotte. If you have a block, use a block. Otherwise, I'll also show without the block. So I want you to come to squatting. So tuck the toes under. So you're already on the floor. So if you tuck the toes under, you could come up to squatting like this. I think you can see. But if you have a block, I prefer that you sit up on it. Or maybe you don't have a block, you have something low on the floor. You could also use the bolster or something like that. And so then, here, I'll turn so you can see me. Then have your feet on the floor, and you could just sit like this comfortably. And if you take your hands, if you press your hands into each other with the elbows, the upper arms on the inner legs, and you can kind of push your hands into each other and draw the elbows away from each other. It should feel gentle. It should feel, well, if it's doable, it's gentle, it's comfortable. If this isn't working for you, you could adjust in some way, or just skip this, sit quietly, or do some kind of stretch that feels like your body needs it right now, or what your body needs right now. So press the feet into the ground, lift the ribcage and the chest. So then also now, if you're late in pregnancy and you want to do this without the prop, go ahead, just take it away, and it'll be deeper. So what you want to focus on, at least a little bit by late pregnancy, is the understanding that you need to release down and out. You need to release down and out. And so sitting like this, or being like this in squatting, or maybe your heels are lifted, or there's some variation that you're doing, that basically you're letting gravity and your intention and the soft openness in your body release down and out. So for fertility, working on getting pregnant or being pregnant early in pregnancy or before late pregnancy, you need to work on keeping everything up and in. You don't want everything coming down and out. You want everything up and in, nice, tall, long posture, that you're very contained and strong and at the same time supple and open. So the yoga practice helps us with all of this. Okay, so whether you're sitting with the block under you or like this, or maybe you have some other variation, I want you to take your time and press your fingers into the floor and take your time coming up to standing. So come all the way up to standing, and maybe you can't. I think that when I stand right now, how the camera is, you can't see the top of my head, so it's okay. You don't really need to see the top of my head. But I want to point out to you that if you have a place in your home or wherever you are that's at a wall, I'd love for you to come to the wall. And when you come to, and if you don't have a wall, you could just improvise with something there. But at first, I want you to have your feet the same distance as we've been working, where the pinky toe sides of your feet are aligned with your outer hip. So you have a whitish footing. And then you're leaning back into the wall. So if you don't have a wall there, then actually, if you don't have a wall, you're standing tall, you're practicing Tadasana. So which is also good. If you have the wall, your feet are in front of your pelvis and your buttocks and your backside is pressing into the wall. So I just want you to feel whatever position you're in right now, that you're standing, you're upright, your feet are on the floor, you have these long legs, these long arms, and then you've also got this like very long, spacious torso that you're feeling and being aware of. Being aware of your breath. And then from here, come around and bend over. You can use blocks or not. And if you're at the wall, this is why you're at the wall. Well, one of the reasons I want you to press your heels into the wall. Feet are still hip distance apart. And then I want you to please walk your hands forward so that you're coming into downward dog. But you're getting an opportunity to do this while pressing your heels into the wall, or it could be like the edge of a table. It could be whatever you have in your space where your heels, so it's not very much of a surface that you need, but your heels are pressing into the wall. I'm just going to say the wall, so that you're feeling the muscles in your legs engage more and more. And that I want you to feel that your legs are elongating towards the heels, pressing the heels into the wall. And as you press the heels into the wall, you're feeling your thighs move up into your hip sockets. So here you are building strength and stability by the strong action in the legs and using that prop, the wall, to help you. Press now the other side of the body. Press your hands into the floor, lengthen your arms, those forearms, the upper arms. Let your neck and head just release. You can look back at your feet or your legs, the floor. Extend all four limbs and feel the torso long and relax the belly. Good. And then from here, take your time, bend the right leg and take it on the outside of the right foot. So this is where, if you have the blocks, especially for pregnancy, I strongly recommend you use 2 blocks under your hands. Let me start with that. Thanks. So but the right foot is on the outside of the right hand. So you're not, it's not on the inside. So it should feel pretty wide. Yeah, you can't quite see this. And then from here, open your chest forward, take the left knee to the floor. Pick up forward so you can see here. So the left knee's on the floor, the right leg is bent, and let your pelvis come forward any amount and lift your chest. And so to help you lift the chest, if you take the block to the higher height, you can get more lift in the chest as the pelvis comes forward. And here you are. Broaden your collarbones. And you could look up. Okay, and then go ahead and look forward, and you could adjust the blocks a little forward, maybe to a lower height. If you're using the blocks, just keep adjusting them so that they work well for you. They don't feel, wobbly or precarious. Tuck the left toes under and straighten the left leg. So it's pretty tricky to do. And then from here, when you're ready, press down through your feet and come all the way up to standing. Take your hands to your waist, bend the forward leg, straighten the back leg, lift the rib cage and the chest. So be here, breathing normally. And you could also now draw your elbows a little bit towards each other behind you to help you lift your chest. And at the same time, straighten your left leg, bend the right leg, lift the rib cage and the chest. Keep your hands right where they are, or extend your arms forward and all the way up. So extend the arms up best you can. Keep the arms straight. If they need to bend, try taking your arms wider than your shoulders to help you with straight arms as best you can. And then if you want to look up in between your hands, go ahead. Bend the forward leg. Straighten the back leg. That'll help you with balance. Straighten the back leg, keeping that back leg firm. And if you're at the wall, you get to press that back heel into the wall. Lift the chest. Then come forward, taking your hands down to whatever surface you're working with, and step back into downward dog. So I moved away from the wall just so you can see me, I think, a little better. But if you're at the wall, press the heels into the wall, just like we were doing before. Straightening the legs, extending the arms, releasing the neck and head, breathing normally also. In fact, the breath, see if you can let it be soft and smooth. From here, as soon as you're ready, you don't have to rush. Take your left hand, or sorry, your left foot on the outside of your left hand. Straightening the right leg first. So be here with your right knee lifted, the left leg bent, right leg straight. Lift the torso up. So just feel this, feel the opening. And then if it's too much, you can always adjust before I say. Take the right knee to the floor and draw the pelvis forward even more. Lift the chest and look up. Be here. And to get a little more height in the chest, you could take the blocks to a higher height. Shoulders down the back. Breathe freely. And then when you're ready, you tuck the right toes under again, straighten the right leg. Be here. And then adjust. I used to have to walk my back foot in a little to help me get all the way up to standing. It could be just the length of my leg, so you see how it works for you. So hands on your waist, elbows towards the space behind you, and then towards each other. Bend the forward leg, straighten the back leg, and lift the rib cage up. You can look up a little bit, just a little bit, and then if you want, extend your arms forward and all the way up. And when your arms are up overhead, you could look up if you have the balance in between the two hands. Pull the fingers apart, lengthen through to the fingertips, keep the upper arms moving into the shoulder sockets, but in general, feel this strong lift through the torso, straight back leg. Then from here, extend forward to come out. Take your hands down to wherever you're working and step back into downward dog. So adjust yourself. So one benefit of doing downward dog is that you can like realign yourself. You can like adjust your arms, your legs, your hands, your feet, so that you feel even, so that you feel like there's this nice balance in the body, and let your neck and head really release, being here. And then from here, take your time, but come forward into a plank position, and then take your knees to the floor right away. So here you are with your knees on the floor, hands underneath the shoulders, like where they've been. Bend your arms at your side and sweep your face, your chest in between your hands and draw your torso forward and up. So it's a version of upward dog. You can lift your chest, you can look up, or you can look forward. And then draw your pelvis back over your knees, tuck your toes under, come back into downward facing dog. Then from here, taking your time, raise the right leg up just a little bit, bend the right leg and take it in between your two hands. So this time it's in between, and if you have blocks, it's a lot better. Lift the torso upright, step the back foot in and straighten both legs. So I have you step the back leg in because usually from downward dog, it's a little too far apart with the footing. Extend the torso forward. So if you don't have a block, you can hold the floor or maybe a chair or something. You want to be long in the front of the body. Open your chest forward and extend your legs. So your legs are like scissoring away from each other. It should feel pretty good, like the two sides of the scissors, extending away from each other and lengthening your torso. So the forward leg is the right leg. So keep your right leg as it is, your right hand on the block, and turn towards the left. Come into triangle pose, extend the left arm up. So if there's no block, you can hold onto your lower leg or maybe the floor. Pull the arms apart. Turn the torso upwards towards the ceiling, excuse me, best you can. Press down through the feet, so extending the legs towards the feet, but also extend the legs up into the hip sockets. Pull the arms apart and turn the torso more. We haven't really done spinal twisting today, so turn the ribs from right to left. Feel the nice twist. Straighten the left leg more as you turn the torso from right to left. And then keep breathing and being aware of your breath. Take your time, come around, hands down to the ground or a low version of the blocks. Extend your arms and come back into downward dog. And if you have the wall, if you're able to press your heels into the wall, all the better. feeling the legs move into the hip socket, stabilizing the pelvis there, building strength in the legs as you really work the legs strongly. Then from here, as soon as you're ready, raise the left leg up, not super high, and then bend the left leg into the body and take the foot in between the two hands. And then you can walk the right foot in a little bit, straighten both legs. Blocks are helpful here on the high, open your torso forward. Press your feet down into the ground, extend your legs. So I didn't say on the other side, but I'll say it on this side. The forward foot's the left foot, so you press the inner left foot into the ground. The inner left foot presses into the ground, and the outer left hip draws back. And then at the same time, straighten the right leg, rotating the right thigh inward, and then draw your torso forward, look slightly forward, breathing normally. And then to come into triangle pose, keep the left foot where it is. You have to turn the right foot a little bit as the body turns towards the right, and pull your arms apart best you can. So press down through your feet. The right toes, the back toes, can turn inwards towards the center of your body. The left toes extend towards the top of the mat. Press down through your feet, extend your legs, adjust the block underneath your left hand so it's under your left shoulder. Pull your right arm up, turn the torso, turn your neck and head and look up. So it should feel nice, expansive, like you're very engaged. Don't let your belly grip in hard. If turning your head bothers your neck, you can look down towards the floor. Breathe here freely, turning the torso, opening up, spinal twisting, long limbs, long trunk. Then taking your time, come around. Being aware of your breath can help you. Take your time and step back. Well, as soon as you place your hands where you're working, step back without strain into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, take your time, bring your knees to the floor. Your hands can stay up on the blocks, or you could take them to the sides if you have the blocks. Bend your arms by the sides of your body, sweep your face, your chest in between your hands, and draw your torso forward and up. Press down through your hands, straight arms, lift the ribcage and the chest as you look up. Then draw your pelvis back over your knees, tuck the toes under, and lift up into downward facing dog. So strong, active position here. If the backs of your knee joints bother you now or at any time when you practice, bend the legs slightly, but still engage the lower leg muscles and the upper leg muscles. Then from here, taking your time, come all the way down to your knees and come around. And I'm going to suggest that you sit. You can just like mirror me right now. So came to your knees, but then come over to your side so that your legs, well, actually my legs are swept over to the right. So you may want to do that. And then if you have a block, take the block behind your left hand, and the hand is on the block, sorry. Yeah, also when I practice sometimes I like, where's my mind? It's gone. So take your left hand behind you on the block and lift the torso upright, and then your right hand on the inner right thigh and turn and twist to the left. And then you could take your right hand to the left leg if you have room there and turn and twist even more. So the right hand is really just helping you to draw the torso around. Try to keep your chest broad. Try not to close off that right shoulder. Keep it drawn back as you turn to the left. And then come back to the center. Stretch your legs out in front. So that you're out in front here. Outer feet aligned with the outer hips. Long legs, lift the torso. Pull the toes apart. And then sweep your legs over to the other side. So be comfortable with your legs. There's various ways they could be, but they're basically over to the left so that you can turn to your right. And with your hand elevated a little bit on the block, it'll help give you more lift in the torso. Take your left hand on the inner left thigh and press your left hand into the thigh and turn to the right. And feel the bones of your rib cage turning from left to right. And if you want, you can take your left hand on the outer right leg, keep lifting, and then revolving and turning. Turn your neck and head and look to the right. Breathe normally. And then go ahead, release, come around. You can take your time and come out and stretch your legs out in front here. So I'd like you to do a supported back bend next. So one of the best ways to do this is to have two blocks. So you would have one block on the high height and then one block on a medium height. And this block on this is the lower height. This medium height is where your shoulder blades go. So if you don't have two blocks, and you only have one, then this, you definitely have this here, so it's on your shoulder blades when you lay over this. And this could be like a bolster. So you could use something, Charlotte, like some blankets or something that we have. Um, yeah, and also for all of you, if you don't have blocks, just something you want like a firmness underneath your shoulder blades, and then something high so your head is higher than the shoulder blades. So this is how you do it. So you're sitting with the back to your props, and your legs are bent, feet on the floor, hands behind you, and then use some arm strength to extend your torso. And with extension in your torso, you come down and lay yourself over the block or whatever you have so that your shoulder blades are tucked under and the block is supporting them. And then this other prop is for your head. And then you keep your legs bent, but you relax your arms at your sides. And when you do that, the shoulders should fall in between the two props. You could also do this by laying over like a bolster or a couch cushion, and then you wouldn't have like space here, but you basically have the support of your backside. I want you to do a supported back bend right now, and if you have these props, then you can do this back bend. But otherwise, something under your backside so that you can relax over an elevation is ideal right now. So with your legs still bent, you relax the arms, you relax the torso, you feel, well, you allow yourself time to feel settled in the position, allowing yourself to go, super slow and really able to take the time to feel yourself like dropping down into your body more, and also allowing yourself to be more on the ground, on the earth, taking support and taking rest. And once you feel at ease, then you can straighten your legs. And straightening your legs generally deepens the lift in the torso. So that's good because now you have more lift and now relax more. And the more you can relax, the greater the opening will come in the chest and in the front of the body. Allow yourself to be very still. Allow yourself to be at ease as much as you can. Sometimes when you do this position, this supported back bend, whatever one you're able to take or get into, sometimes it feels like so perfect, and that you really, your body, your mind, the essence of you really wants to stay. Then for right now, for this class, please stay and don't come to the next position, which is going to be the last position. You could stay like this and you could end class in this position. But for those coming out now, or when you are ready to come out, you can bend one leg or both legs and roll over to the side and take your time and come up. And I do want you to know that you can stay in this kind of back bended position for as long as you want. I mean, you could make it even like 20 minutes. You could practice that regularly when you think of it. So then for this next one, I'd like you to do a little inversion. So if you have a wall, I'll show a couple of options. If you have a wall, then, and you have blocks, I strongly suggest that you take the blocks on the high height at the wall, and then you take your bolster and put it in front of it. If you don't have these things, I'll show you a simple version in a moment. Otherwise, you sit on your prop and you lay down onto your side. You have to kind of scooch over the block or the bolster, lay on your side, and then roll onto your back. And then you can adjust yourself so that you're here and your buttocks falls in that little hole between the wall and the bolster because the blocks are there, giving a little space. Legs up the wall. Do you maybe want to do this, Charlotte, here? And then I'll show something over here. You can do it here, yeah. To come out of this, just when it's time, you bend your legs and you carefully roll out. Take your time. Use your arms to lift up. So I think Charlotte will come into that for y'all. But then I'll show over here something else if you don't have that. So this one, I want you to also to invert. So the inversion is when your head is lower than your heart. And in this one, also the pelvis is the highest, then the heart, then the head. So it's more of an inversion. Plus the legs are reversed from how they usually are. But another thing you can do if you don't have a wall or it's just too much is you can take a folded blanket like this. I'm also going to get something else. You might have one of these that you're sleeping with, like a body pillow. So just take that. You want some height here, some height. And then you just sit down on it, whatever you have, whatever you're able to have. And you sit down on it and you lay back over on your side and roll onto your back. And then your legs stay bent in this and your feet on the floor, but your pelvis is elevated. So this is very relaxing to the lower portion of your torso. There's no pressure on the hip bones or the pelvic floor. You know, with gravity, we're generally either in an upright position or we're laying down flat, like when we sleep. So right now the pelvis is lifted. You could also use a block underneath you. So it's a version of bridge pose, if you know bridge. But here you are in whatever position you're able to get into, where there's some inversion going on, and allow yourself to feel the softness of you, whatever that means to you right now. And it would be totally normal if you don't really feel soft, or it's like a new idea of how to, feel or be in the body. You could take your hands over your belly, where your baby is, or your reproductive organs. Let the shoulders be firm on the floor. Let your buttocks, your pelvis be very stable and steady on whatever surface it's touching. And allow yourself to breathe with awareness. You don't need to change your breath right now. You're already breathing, and you're bringing your mind to be noticing it or attending to the breath by noticing it. Let the body be at ease. And let this shift in your position and the changes in your body just take place. Let them unfold and allow yourself to be good with it all, okay with it all, trusting of yourself. Allow yourself to relax all the way and be as still as you can right now. Again, this is a position where you could stay as long as you'd like, really. Sometimes the legs fall asleep if the legs are up the wall, so you could bend them so this the blood flows back in a little bit differently, and then you can straighten them again. To come out of this, when you're ready to come out, you can bend the legs into the body if your legs are like up the wall. You can bend them in. If your feet are already on the floor, you may need to take your feet to the height of your buttocks. Just depends on what you have. And then take your time carefully so you don't want to strain or jar yourself, roll over to the side. And you could rest on your side for a little bit if it's comfortable. Sometimes it's not because of whatever's underneath your lower side. When you're ready, use your arms to lift yourself up to sitting. And then come up and sit in a comfortable sitting position for you. It's ideal if you could have your buttocks a little elevated, legs crossed or some other position. Take your hands palms down and close your eyes. Be aware of the outline shape of you right now and pull your attention inward from the outline shape. Feel yourself very stable and whole, and feel also yourself expansive and creative. From here, you can draw your palms together in front of your sternum chest, or you could also take one hand over the other over your chest, your heart center, whichever feels better for you. And this is the end of practice for now. Thank you very much. Be well. Take care. Namaste. See you soon.